I'm Mike Sargent, and this is Arise on Screen.
Teach me how to duck it. Teach me how to duck it.
In this week's reviews,
You're not buying a new friend, you're hiring a best man. Yo, what you doing? Yo, what you doing?
when Josh Gad needs to hire a best man for his wedding, Kevin Hart proves he's the perfect man for the job. But will matrimonial mayhem stop the happy couple from saying I do? Kaylee Kuko-Sweeting stars in the new comedy, The Wedding Ringer.
So live in the moment, I tell myself. It's really all I can do. Live in the moment.
Golden Globe winner Julianne Moore is a renowned linguistics professor struggling to maintain her identity and self-worth after being diagnosed with Alzheimer's in the moving drama, Still Alice.
Whatever's next is right in there.
Can you crack it?
Isn't that why you brought me here?
You get discovered, you're dead meat.
Cyber criminal Chris Hemsworth earns a get-out-of-jail-free card when he's released from prison to root out a dangerous hacker threatening global financial takeover in the Oscar-nominated director Michael Mann's cyber thriller, Black Hat. All this and more on Arise on Screen. Hi, I'm Mike Sargent, and welcome to Arise on Screen, your global home for both films on screen and behind the scene. Let's get to it first with this week's box office winners. Taking 3 tops the box office this week, followed by Selma, The Imitation Game, The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies, and Unbroken rounds it out in the number 5 spot. And in movie news,
Now, we've come this evening to bring you some joy, some happiness, inspiration, and some positive vibrations.
after 60 years of performing, singer Mavis Staples continues to take us there. In the new documentary, Mavis, as one of the founding members of the legendary group the Staples Singers, her family's music became the inspirational soundtrack to the civil rights movement. Mavis will premiere at the South by Southwest Film Festival in March.
We're giving you a new identity. You will no longer be Susan Cooper.
You're Honey Morgan, divorced housewife from Iowa.
It's a confidence builder.
In Spy, Melissa McCarthy teams up again with Bridesmaid and Heat director Paul Feig. This time around, a covert McCarthy joins Jason Statham, Jude Law, and Allison Janney to chase down the bad guys for the CIA. As you can imagine, everything is funny and goes wrong for this undercover fish out of water. Spy opens later this year.
Everyone creates the thing they dread. Ultron in the flesh.
January is turning out to be Marvel's month. The new Avengers trailer, Marvel's Avengers Age of Ultron, dropped earlier this week, and Ultron is back stronger than ever for the super team of heroes. The film hits theaters in spring.
I need you to be the Ant-Man.
But bets are on that the summer release of Marvel's Ant-Man with Paul Rudd could be the big winner at the box office. The official trailer attracted 29 million global views when it was released this month and have fans crawling with anticipation, which could mean big bucks at the box office. Ant-Man opens in July.
There'll be 2 people of color in that class, one African and one African American, and they will not look at each other.
And finally, executive produced by actor Isaiah Washington and directed by Kenyan-born Perez Owino, the controversial documentary Bound, Africans versus African Americans, that looks at the tensions between Africans and African Americans, is winning awards in the film festival circuit, including the Public Award for Best Film Directed by a Woman of Color at the New York African Diaspora Film Festival. Bound, Africans versus African Americans will be released in spring 2015. As we all know, award season is in full swing. And before we get to the Oscars, one of our favorite critics, Jackson Murphy from the entertainment site Lights Camera Jackson, was out in Los Angeles for the 2015 Critics' Choice Awards.
Yeah, Mike, it was an incredible night at the 20th Annual Critics' Choice Movie Awards. Boyhood dominated, and like host Michael Strahan said, Birdman really did try to fly.
What do you want to be, Mason? What do you want to do?
Richard Linklater's 12-year look at life and growing up won Best Picture and Best Director, as well as acting honors for Patricia Arquette for Best Supporting Actress and Eller Coltrane for Best Young Actor. Julianne Moore won Best Actress for Still Alice, and J.K. Simmons Best Supporting Actor for Whiplash. The Lego Movie, which did not receive a Best Animated Feature Oscar nomination earlier that day, won that category. Guardians of the Galaxy took Best Action Movie, and The Grand Budapest Hotel Best Comedy.
You were the original, man. Let's make a comeback.
Birdman, which won 7 awards to lead all films, saw Michael Keaton up on stage to accept 3 of them. After winning Best Actor, Keaton fell off the stage, but thankfully landed on his feet. The incident was not caught on camera, but proved that even at 63, Keaton is still a superhero. In Hollywood for A Rise on Screen, I'm Jackson Murphy.
Today I'm joined by movie gal Brittany McCarthy of Diva Gals Daily and film critic and the man who needs no introduction, Bobby Rivers. Welcome.
Hello.
Hey, Brittany.
Hi, Bobby.
Okay. Welcome back, Bobby.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so before we get to our reviews, we have to talk about the Oscars, and of course, the Oscar snubs. Yeah. The biggest, of course, being Selma. So I want to ask you both what films you thought, maybe besides Selma, and I know Selma is your favorite, that should have been nominated. I'm gonna start with you. You say Selma.
Selma was such a beautiful film. The directing, the writing, everything about the movie was just spectacular. And for it not to be nominated for an Oscar, I'm just really upset about that. That is just in disbelief. Like, I just don't understand how that could happen.
Well, it got nominated for Best Picture, but not for Best Director or for David and the Yellow Rose.
Ava
DuVernay.
It was the best.
I agree.
Are you kidding me?
Now, Bobby, you had a picture that we both liked quite a bit that you think should have been nominated.
Pride. British film. I loved it. Imelda Staunton in Pride. I loved her in that. I would have liked to have seen her get a nomination for Best Supporting Actress. And that film brought new stuff to us. Did not know that story about the striking minors and the LGBT community.
Ditto. I did not know this at all. And it's a really powerful, sort of a heartwarming, enlightening, uplifting story. It certainly is. I agree. And I have to say, again, in a field where everything's about real life, you know, that's what's nominated. The movie that I thought should have been nominated in the Best Documentary category is
Life Itself.
Life Itself. How could that not have been nominated? Roger Ebert. It was such a great film, so powerful, so moving. I was moved to tears watching that film. And if you're like most people, and you grew up, that's when you watch TV.
And Ebert was such a champion of Ava DuVernay.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. And she's in the film. So I think it's a shame that film wasn't nominated, along with Ava not getting
Best Director
nod. So, well, we're going to talk about some movies that I don't think any of these movies today are going to get a Best Director nod, except for Still Alice. So we'll be back, and if we want to know what you think, is Hollywood in the Oscars racist? Hit us up on Facebook and on our Twitter page at Arise on Screen, and we'll be back. Up next,
you're looking at your groomsmen. These guys cannot be my groomsmen. It looks like a cast of Goonies grew up and became rapists.
Kevin Hart is a best man for hire who gets more than he bargains for when Josh Gad and Kelly Kuko Sweeting say I do in the new comedy, The Wedding Ringer. Next, here on Arise on Screen. I'm Mike Sargent with Arise on Screen with a Black Film History Spotlight. Did you know that on July 30th, 2013, Cheryl Boone Isaacs was elected the 35th president of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences? She's the first African American to hold this office and only the third woman since the organization's inception in 1927.
The vision here is not just to tell the main stories of the day, but to tell the news that other organizations don't tell, and tell it in a way that people like me, people that look like me, that look like you, are interested in.
Okay? Yeah. Let's go dance. No thanks.
Douglas, you can hide a fat ass in baggy pants, but you cannot hide a bad dance. Come on, let's go. I'm teaching some basics.
I'm not dancing.
It is my job to make you look good on your wedding day. Now, I need you to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Come on.
Teach me how to Dougie. 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 All my women love me. All my women love me. All my women love me. You ain't messing with my Dougie.
In The Wedding Ringer, comedian Kevin Hart comes to the rescue as a best man for hire when a groom played by Josh Gad needs to impress the girl of his dreams, bride-to-be Kaylee Cuoco Sweeting. But the elaborate wedding scheme almost wrecks the wedding party. Welcome back to Arise on Screen. Now, I have to say, this is a film that, I don't know if you know, was originally set up as an Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn vehicle, okay? And Bobby, I think you said it best, that you had more laughs at the dental appointment.
Lord, I'm a Kevin Hart fan, but let me tell you, I saw this movie for free, and it was worth every penny. It just...
Bobby!
It did not work. It was like being stuck in a room full of drunken frat boys. It doesn't work. I did like the dance scene.
The dance scene. Well, I thought, you see, the film had its moments.
It did.
And I thought the premise, though we've seen it many times before, it had comic possibilities. I have to say, I, too, was very disappointed. There are strong, long periods where none of the jokes
But it's not as sophisticated as Revenge of the Nerds back in '84.
But listen. We got to give Kevin Hart his props, okay? Honestly, I didn't like the film. I agree, but I think Josh Gad and Kevin Hart had a great. They collaborated great. They had chemistry. Great together.
Gad is a good actor.
Like, they were really good together, and I'm a big Kevin Hart fan. But I'm tired of seeing Kevin Hart in the same film playing the same character after character after character. He doesn't change to me.
Well, you know what's interesting? I saw this film with a friend of mine who's also a filmmaker, and what he couldn't understand is how is it that Kevin Hart can make this comedy and not bring in any of these writers he's got working for him to help punch this script up?
Like Adam Sandler does.
Like every comedian actor
What do they call it? The Plastic Cup Boys.
The Plastic Cup Boys.
His homies from Philly. He should have called them up and say, help me write this script, because it really needed a rewrite.
Well, you see, that's what I felt. I felt that this was a script that was in bad need of a rewrite.
Yeah,
there were so many jokes, and it tried to straddle the line between white humor and black humor. Right. It tried to do that. You get some of that, 40-year-old virgin, or any of those knocked up Judd Apatow type comedy, and then you get the urban humor, which is what Kevin Hart brings to it. And I have to say, unfortunately, I hope Kevin Hart starts picking better roles, because at a certain point people will get tired of seeing him do the same shit.
And he does have talent.
I'm already tired.
Oh Lord,
I think he needs a role that's more challenging for him. Something a little outside of comedy where we can honestly respect him as an actor.
Okay,
to me, that's what
I think it's. Would you recommend?
Would I recommend
the movie?
The movie?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. What about you? Die-hard Kevin Hart fans?
Would I recommend this? Not with a court order.
But on Netflix, I will.
Okay,
Netflix.
All right, our next film is called Little Accidents, and it stars Emmy-nominated actress Elizabeth Banks as Diana, a mother whose teenage son goes missing in a small community devastated by a fatal mining accident. Diana turns to the sole survivor of the accident and unravels truths that could destroy the town, her marriage, and her family.
No developments in the case of the teen who went missing on the afternoon of August 27th.
Would anyone be trying to hurt the family for something in response to the accident? Any of the minors? Strange, violent.
You okay?
Not really.
I'm happy to give you a ride if you need one. I'd like to help you out any way I can.
Now, to me, the standout in this movie really is Elizabeth Banks.
Amen.
Because I think, most people know her from her comedy work, especially now with The Hunger Games.
Right.
She plays this outrageous character. And to see the contrast of her doing something so grounded and so serious, once again shows that many comedic actors turn out to be some of the best actors we have.
Exactly.
I agree. I think she did really well in this film. And there's a certain scene that I really like in the beginning, but I don't want to give away the film, but I think she did an awesome job.
She's so impressive. I knew her from Scrubs and 30 Rock, two sitcoms. And to see her go dramatic, this is almost like the type of role that usually goes to like a Naomi Watts.
Yes.
Banks pulled it off. And all of these people are trying to come to terms with a truth in their lives.
Well, a truth in their lives, and what I liked about it, I thought last year was a good year, though the Oscars didn't reflect it, but it was a good year for female directors. And the writer-director, Sarah Colangelo, what she said, I interviewed her, and she said that she was interested, because this was based on a
short she had done, an
Right.
award-winning short. She expanded into a feature, and she wanted to do something that dealt with the aftermath of an accident, not seeing the accident, not seeing what happens, but just how people are affected.
Right.
And I thought,
and that was interesting because you really didn't
drama.
need to see the accident.
No.
You didn't, but I think that the ending wasn't a closure for me. I needed more.
You needed more
I
closure?
needed more. I left off kind of confused, like what happened. I needed her to go a little more deeper into exactly.
It worked.
Now, would you recommend it?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes, recommend.
Well, I would recommend it as well. And we will be back.
Coming up.
I am not suffering. I am struggling. Struggling to be a part of things, to stay connected to who I once was.
Julianne Moore stars in her Golden Globe-winning portrayal of Alice, a woman with early onset Alzheimer's who struggles to hold on to who she once was. In Still Alice, next, here on Arise on Screen.